refinement on lunging. We've covered the basics in lunging. Now I want to kind of take you on to the next place with this, is how to refine that down and get the higher gaits with them. We've kind of walked through the walk and the trot, but we're going to do walk, trot, and then canter. But I'm going to cover some of the things, the elements of what we need to look for when we lunge. It's not just about getting out here and sending your horse around and around in a circle. I've got the long line here, the ring rope here. It's like 22 foot. This is a good place to start with him. Eventually, I will change this rope out to either a 1/4 inch line, which is lighter, or you can even use a lunge line for that matter. With a lunge line, you just don't have as much feel with it. This line, after you get your horse going along and they get lighter, tends to be too heavy, particularly for real sensitive horses. And then I'm actually using a lunge whip here. For this kind of work, I find that this is a little handier. I can reach out there a little farther to touch them than I can with a stick and a string. But if that's all you have is a stick and a string, you can use it. Those are just some of the tools that I like to play with. So we're going to start off with getting them out, asking them out and around in the circle. So I offer. See there, he kind of cut in on me, so I got after the shoulder, saying, get out on that circle. Now, once he's out there, I'm looking for 3 things. The 3 things are him maintaining a nice forward gait. So if I'm asking for a walk, he's maintaining that walk. He's not speeding up. He's not slowing down. Right there, that's pretty good. And then the second thing is he staying out on the circle? Do I have a little tiny feel in my hand and he's not coming in or going out or making some other kind of shapes, that I can keep him out on that circle? The third thing is bend. Is he bent from his head to his tail on the bend of the circle, or on the size of the circle that I have him on? So here, this is, I haven't let him out fully yet, but we're just at a walk. So I want his body to bend the arc of the circle that I have him on. Now, each one of those 3 things, I'm looking at that on a scale from 1 to 10. 10 being perfect, 1 being absolutely terrible or non-existent. And so I'm looking for 6s, 6 7s, 6 plus. And if I can get a 6 plus in the walk, I know I've got something going pretty good. We've got that. And if I can get a 6 plus in him staying out on the circle, I know I've got something pretty good there. And if I have that on the band, we're in pretty good shape. Now, if I didn't on one of those things, we could work on that. But he's doing pretty well. So if I've got 6s or above on those 3 things, then I can ask more of him. So I'm going to ask for a trot now. I bring up my life, and I don't go throwing my hand out here saying, go faster. I just bring my life up. I might suggest, slightly point off and say, let's go, but it's not this huge thing of, get going. And then I come in, so my life's up. Then I come in at the rib cage and say, get up there, step up into that trot. Keep my hand relaxed in here. I'm not pulling it out here saying, keep going, keep going, keep going. I want to keep my body, if I were riding him right now, how would I be situated? And this is how I'd be, pretty much. Now once he's going, he's giving me the gait I want. I don't use the whip. It's just kind of hanging there relaxed. But I have the energy of a trot in me, and he needs to maintain that. Now I'm looking for those same three things now at the trot. Do I have a nice forward trot? Is he out on that circle? And is he bent around me? And he's doing very well with all of those. So I might just go, would you like to come back to a walk? And all I did was let my breath out. If he wouldn't come back, what I can do, there he's wanting to come in, and I'll let him have that. He's doing very nicely. But if he's going out and around there and I let my life down and he keeps trotting, what do I do to get him to come back? Well, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the lead rope and I'm just going to squeeze, and if you have the lead rope running out the bottom of your hand, you're just going to squeeze your pinky. If you have it coming out the top of your hand, you can squeeze your pointer. But it's not a bump or a pull like that. It's just a slight squeeze with my finger. And I'm going to do that in time with the inside hind. When that inside hind lands, I'm going to squeeze to help slow him down. I'm going to do that 2 to 4 times. If I don't get any response, I might do it 2 to 4 times, then wait a little bit and try it again. If I still don't get a response, I'll squeeze those 2 to 4 times, and then I'll send a wave up and down the rope to say, hey, pay attention to that little feel. Typically, I don't have to do the wave up and down. They usually, if you really soften and you just put that feel on there, they're coming right down. So, we'll set it up and go the other way and see, do we have the same horse going this direction? Because each direction is a little bit different for a horse. One direction is going to be easy, the other direction is going to be a little harder, typically. So again, I'm looking for a nice forward walk, that he's out there maintaining that walk. And then I'm going to look for, is he maintaining his circle? Is he staying out on that circle? And then I'm looking for the bend. Is he bending from his head to his tail? And again, he's doing pretty nicely with this. A lot of times horses are bent to the outside. They're pushing on with the rib cage and all of that. So he's not doing that. I can just bring up my life, meet him with it, and he stays out there on the circle. So I'll pick up a trot now, bring my life up, and come in and say, hey, come on, let's go with me. And once he's going, I just carry my whip, but I have the energy in my body keeping him going with that energy. And the moment he dies, then I'll come back in with the whip. So again, I'm looking for the trot, maintaining that trot, nice forward. He's not speeding up, he's not slowing down. Then is he maintaining a nice circle? Now, the trot, the bend is a little bit, in his neck he's not bent as good as he could be. So one of my options is just to ask him to go around a few times. Or another option would be to do a leg yield. And I can do a leg yield by taking the lead rope, and I'm going to bring it up towards his hind end, bring my stick into his rib cage, and ask him to leg yield out on that circle. Just a few steps, and then come back to the circle again. And I'll show you that again as I come around. So I actually had to shorten up the lead rope a little bit. So I pick the lead rope up, point it towards his hind end, come in with the rib cage, walk in towards him, say keep going. Get a little crossover there. And as soon as he does, go back to the circle. Because what that's doing is it's creating a little more bend in his body, getting his inside hind to step up underneath him. So I can do this again. Oh, that's why I'm far enough away, so if he does that, if he were to kick out, I'm far enough away to avoid getting kicked. That was nice. It was real nice. He actually stepped up and across, picked his whole body up. So I've got a little bit better of a bend. I'll show you that one more time. So I pick the lead rope up towards his hind, and then I bring my whip to whatever part of his body needs the help. It might be the shoulder, it might be the rib cage, it might be the hind end. It might even be the neck. So just all depends. So pretty nice there. So now I'm going to think walk. I just soften a little bit. He comes right down. But I need to keep him going, so I have to have enough energy in me to say keep going. Now another option for getting a little more bend in your horse is just making your circle smaller. So I can keep him trotting, but slowly ask that circle to go smaller until it gets really tough for him or hard for him. And I'll just wait on him for a little bit. And then I'll allow him to go back up. But I don't just throw the rope to him. I feed it out nice and slow because I want to keep him connected with me. So I can let him out, and then I might bring him back in again. Nice. And I'm going to let him have that, so I'm going to think walk, breathe down, and have him come right down. And if he wouldn't come with me, then I can squeeze ever so slightly with the rope, so I could even do it here, asking him to halt. So squeeze when that inside hind lands to get the halt. Because when you squeeze when the foot hits the ground, it's like you held it in the ground for a moment. That's why it helps to slow them down. To rebalance and shifts their weight back, helps them to connect back to you. So that's the walk trot. Now we're going to take it up to a canter, see what we've got there. So I want him out, don't want him crowding on me, so he kind of pushes in on me with the shoulder. So I push out the part of his body that's leaning on me. Get a nice walk, got a nice walk going. I'm looking for 6s or 7s. If I get that, then I can do more. Now I've got 6s or 7s at the trot, so I'm going to ask for the canter. The canter I like to use a kiss. The trot I'll actually cluck for a trot, and then I'll kiss for a canter. So I've got a nice trot going. Now I'm going to bring my life up to a canter, kiss, and touch. So I kissed, and then I touched him with the whip. He didn't take the invitation, so no big deal. Now I set him back up, make sure I've got a nice relaxed trot going. He's not running off, and I'll set it up again. So I bring my life up and touch. And he thought a little bit more about going forward, but I'm not making a big deal out of this. So I set him back up. If he gets to running off going fast, I'm going to slow him back down. I'm going to wait until I got a nice relaxed rhythm in him. I have 6s and 7s in all 3 of my elements. We've got that, so now I can ask for a canter again. I bring my life up, touch. So I kiss and then touch. So he's starting to figure out, okay, every time the kiss happens, every time the energy comes, then the kiss happens, then the touch. So I life up, and there was actually a thought, and I didn't even reach out and touch him. So now he's getting a little bit more forward, so I can slow him down, and I can do that again by squeezing when the inside hind lands. So I don't want to ask him for the canter when he's rushing around. So I bring my life up and touch. Still not getting it, it's not a big deal. Even if he doesn't get it here today, I don't really care. We just keep setting it up. Because I'd rather him get the canter when he's ready and when he's in a relaxed place to do it instead of getting it out of anxiety or running him faster into it. So I can set him up, life up. Yeah. And he's just getting animated there. Now I'm going to get him all relaxed again before I ask again. And he doesn't have to go far in the canter. It's not like he has to go around and around. I just want him going. Yeah. That's nice. So I bring my life up. Good. See, I didn't even have to use my whip because he's now understanding, okay, one follows the other. But he responded, so I didn't have to go in with the whip. But I want him relaxed again. So I wait on him. And bring my life up. Not down, buddy. Bring my life up. And came in with the whip. Even though it didn't touch him, as I came in with it to say, hey, because he actually ignored the smooch that time. Now he's running off, so I'm going to bring him back, get him nice and relaxed. So that's what this is all about, is keeping him relaxed and wanting to just go right into it. So we're really looking for that relaxed forward trot, but not a rushing, running trot. Yeah. And then I bring my life up, smooch, and touch. There we go. And I'm going to let him have that on that side, because he actually, he got a little bit animated there. Then he went into a nice canter. Right at the end there, he started leaning and dragging me, so then I put a little bump on the line, because I don't want him doing that. And I'm going to ask him off here just one more time, just because he did that, because he kind of just started dragging me. So I don't want him to drag me off there. Now I'm going to offer him in. I just invite him to come on in. And I can set him up and go off the other way. But I'm hoping you're seeing how it's take your time with the canter. And this is, his third week here now. We're kind of going into the third week of working with him, and I haven't worked with the canter with him unless he chooses to pick it up himself. And sometimes it'll even take me longer, as I really want the walk and trot nice. So I'm getting those 6s, 7s, maybe even some 8s at the walk trot with the forward, the band. and maintaining the circle. So this is nice. So I bring my life up. And he thought about it but didn't take the invitation. So I'm going to ask again. Bring my life up. Not down, bud. Good boy. And life up. Good boy. And life up. Ah. He's staying pretty relaxed. The only thing I don't like is he's leaning on me a little bit. Now I will allow a little bit, but if it gets too much, then I'm going to bump on a little bit to say, hey, don't lean on me. Because the lean sometimes helps him to find his balance, but he can't be dragging me around. So I bring my life up. Good boy. Couple good strides. Wait on him again. Set it up. He doesn't have to go far. See, and he takes offense that I actually tell him to go with the whip, but I wouldn't tell him with the whip if he listened to my other suggestions. And so that's his understanding he has to learn is if he goes when I ask, I will not use the whip. I bring my life up. Because there he pretty much blew everything off. So I'll bring my life up again. Actually, wait on him. Slow him down a little, get him a little rebalanced, thinking about me. He's kind of checking out, so I squeeze a couple times that inside hind hits. And the reason why I asked him twice there is because that first time was more like, just like, don't you do that to me. So I just said, well, if you go, I won't. But if you get nasty with me, I will ask. Good boy. Bring my life up. Ah. And he's still learning his feet too. This way is harder for him. He doesn't bend as well. There, he's kind of running off a little. So I'm going to get him soft, relaxed. Get him with me. And I can even go into the fence or into a corner if they really start kind of leaning or taking you someplace. See how I can go up against the rail and let the rail help me, right? As he gets in there. Good. But if you do that a few times, they might not want to go in. Good boy. I'm going to let him with that. Because he picked it up. He didn't get defensive at all. He maintained for a few good strides. That was pretty nice. So over the next few days, I'll start asking for a little longer, a little more, and it might even be for a few weeks. But, I just take my time with this until eventually he'll be able to maintain that canter around and around. But I'm really looking for him to stay relaxed with it, not that he gets bothered, because the more bothered he is, the more likely he's going to be out of balance and speed up and run off, get worried about Canter. And I don't want him worried. I want him just to think, oh, Canter's as easy as picking up a walk or a trot. So, thanks for your time. See you next time.